to go? All right, welcome everybody. It is Wednesday, October 2nd, just after 6 o'clock. Tonight we are going to be doing a webinar called My Major, My Career, and our focus is going to be on accounting. So as you may have seen from some of the promotional material we put out, we're going to be hearing from some students who have done internships. We're going to hear some from firms who are offering internships, as well as some other regional employers who are going to talk about some opportunities that we have. We have a panel of students who are going to join us to talk about their internship experience, as well as two graduates of our program, and see how they are finding success after their time here at UMA. We also have many of our business and accounting faculty folks who are going to join us tonight to talk about how the courses they teach are going to be part of your accounting time here at UMA. And then we also have an opportunity to just talk about some of the pathways that we have for accounting at UMA, as well as certification options for you, a little bit of information about what the accounting industry is projecting for job growth in the coming years. And then, of course, we have an opportunity to do some question and answer. So this is meant to be an interactive session. So anytime that you have a question, please feel free to raise your hand. And we do have two folks here, Haley and Katie, who are going to be monitoring the Zoom board for us and making sure that we don't miss anybody's questions or clarifications that they might be looking for. So with that said, we'll just do a quick round of introductions. My name is Gwen Bedell. I am one of the instructors here at the University of Maine. I'm also a very proud graduate. Thank you very much. I went through the CPA exam and now I'm in the dissertation phase of my doctorate in accounting. So I love accounting. I get a little geeky about it sometimes, but it's good. We also have some other folks here in the room with us. So come on over and introduce yourself real quick.
Hey everybody, my name is Haley Brown and I'm a Student Services Coordinator in the Academic and Career Advising Center here on the Augusta campus. One of my roles in this role is career services. So I help students with job search strategies, career exploration, and I'm really excited to be able to partner with Gwen and Katie. I'm going to be introducing Katie. She's going to be monitoring our chat here, but she's our Student Services Coordinator out of the Rockland Center. And the My Major, My Career series is really geared towards helping students make informed decisions about their future career path by giving you information about different career fields, networking opportunities, and labor information and everything like that. So we're excited to have you here.
Thanks so much. And Haley is monitoring the board from over on the side. Sorry, Katie. Pardon, Katie. Yep, she's giving us a wave. We do have a couple of folks in the room with us as well. Tom Giordano is here with us. He's going to be speaking later. He's one of our professors here. He's been here a long time, knows just about everything there is about accounting. One of my mentors, so thank you, Tom. And then we also have Betsy in the room with us. I hope it's okay to say your name. Betsy started working with us last summer, I believe, right? In starting into the accounting program. So she's in our post-bacs degree pathway. So that's pretty exciting. We have some folks on Zoom. We'll just do a quick round robin if that's okay. All right. I think I see Tom Marshall there up in the top corner. Awesome. All right, great. Tom's going to join us a little bit later. He is one of our instructors here as well. He focuses on managerial analytics and then also some Excel classes for us in addition to some others. We have Leanne Fajardo. She's my next corner over there. She is one of our graduates. She's going to share her success story with us. Next, I have Gary Page, who's up in the upper right-hand corner. Excellent, Gary. Yeah, so Gary retired and I was lucky enough to fill his shoes. Thank you so much, Gary. Appreciate it always. He's going to be talking with us about a new course that he's developed for this coming spring. Let's see, who else do I have? Maya Grover, you're next. Yeah, she's going to join us. She's going to talk about her internship experience here at Wipfli and what is coming down the path for her. Some pretty exciting stuff. We have Laura Ebert, who is with us, Albin, Randall, Bennett. She's a CPA there, and she's going to talk about some wonderful opportunities with Albin, Randall, Bennett, ARB, one of the top businesses to work for in Maine. I want to say 13 years running now, Laura, is that right? All right, perfect. Okay, Andrew Mariansky, he is one of our adjunct instructors, and he's going to be joining us to talk about the work that he does and how it will impact you as well and give you a nice broad base for the work that you're doing. Tori Spencer is going to join us. She's with Wipfli. She's also going to talk to us about some internship experiences. And if you decide to pursue a career with Wipfli, they do offer some generous bonuses for helping you get through the CPA exam. So Tori will talk with us about that. Brenda McAleer, our Dean of the College, she is with us. Thank you so much. In short, Brenda knows everything about anything. So if there's a question, she is your go-to. Thanks, Brenda, for joining us tonight. Haley, we mentioned her. Ryan Turner is with us. Ryan is an alumni. He is a successful graduate of our business program, and he's going to talk to us about what he does at BIW. So pretty exciting stuff. Jennifer, you are on the line with us as well. You're one of our students, right? Is that right?
Okay, I don't know who, my name is Jennifer Gomez. I'm the brand new coordinator of internships and experiential learning. I'm not sure if you were addressing me or not.
I was, and I had the wrong name. I apologize. I actually confused you with another Jennifer.
Okay.
Who was going to join. So I apologize for that.
No worries.
Jennifer, thanks so much. Megan Jones, I do know you are one of our students. You're one of our great accounting students. So glad you could join us tonight. Doreen Resposo, she's with the National Credit Union Association, and she's going to join us again to talk about some wonderful career opportunities for folks who might be looking for some examiner positions. So thanks so much, Doreen, for joining us. And her colleague as well is going to be joining us, Ms. Sullivan. So thank you again. Joyce, you are one of our accounting students who I believe was down in the Saco Center. Is that right?
Yes. Thank
Perfect.
you, Professor.
All right, wonderful. So glad you could join us. And then Megan here is in the bottom corner. Megan is an attorney. She practices out of a law firm in Edgecombe, and she is one of our adjunct instructors, does some business law for us. So you will find that information helpful for you if you're thinking about, going into the CPA exam. There is a whole section that talks about business law. So Megan is our point person on that. She brings 25 years of experience to us in that field. And then we have ITC, so Integrated Tax Consultants. You guys are going to be joining us as well. They're one of our partner firms that are down in Falmouth. They do a lot of internships for us. So we've got some folks here to talk with us about that. I know it's not Sarah. Heath, right? Okay, perfect. Great. All right, awesome. And then Myra, I see you're here as well. She's one of our accounting students. She's getting up there in the progression of her courses, so that's great. Do I have anybody else?
You do, but they both are video and audio off.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, for the other couple of folks who I might not be able to see, feel free to join us at any time. Put your hand up. Let us know if you have a question or if you want to make a comment. And with that, I think we are ready to get going into our program for tonight. So let's see. The first guest speaker I have on the line for us tonight is going to be representing Wipfli. So that is Tori. Tori, you're with us, yes?
I am. Thank you.
All right, perfect. So we just have a little bit of information up here running in the background. And if you would like to take a few minutes and talk to us about the opportunities with Wipfli, that would be great.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want me to give a quick overview of the company?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this evening. Wipfli is a public accounting and consulting firm established in 1930 by Clarence Wipfli in Wausau, Wisconsin. Today, Wipfli has grown to employ over 3,200 associates across more than 48 offices, serving over 84,000 clients. So the closest offices to this group is likely our Augusta and South Portland offices. I'm actually located out of our Milwaukee, Wisconsin office, so we do have a wide variety of locations. Wipfli also offers a wide range of services, including tax, assurance, risk advisory, digital solutions, outsourcing, and organizational performance. So we cater to various industries, including construction, real estate, healthcare, manufacturing, distribution, among others. So Wipfli's culture is deeply rooted in our mission, vision, and values. Collectively, we call that the Wipfli way. So our culture emphasizes a passion for driving both the firm and our clients towards success. And this would include a few main values. So integrity, caring, excellence, teamwork, and perseverance. And the firm also highlights several culture pillars, including being approachable, meaning to be kind, honest, and open-minded, being perceptive, to focus on the needs of others and help them achieve what matters most, being inventive, so tackling challenges with new perspective and innovation. And then to be curious, so to strive to understand the world around them and always asking questions to further our knowledge of the problem and how we can find a solution. So Wipfli is committed to fostering a workplace where everyone feels included and diversity is embraced. We encourage diversity of thought, knowing that a variety of voices strengthen the group of the organization, as well as through our business resource groups. So Wipfli has established several business resource groups to foster inclusivity, education, and belonging within the firm. So we currently have 4 Women of Wipfli. This group aims to cultivate an environment where women have equitable opportunities to achieve their goals. We have Wipfli Pride, which is focused on creating an LGBTQ+ friendly workplace. We have Embrace, which supports diverse, underrepresented associates and works to attract, engage, nurture, and retain multicultural talent. And then finally, we have Wipfli Valor, which honors and supports military members, veterans, and their families while fostering a community within the firm. So Wipfli also is very engaged in the community. We do encourage our associates to participate in nonprofit boards, volunteering, and donating to those in need. Each year, associates contribute approximately 16,000 volunteer hours to various programs. And this involvement ranges from individual efforts to group activities, reflecting the firm's service-oriented culture. So we offer a variety of internship opportunities designed to provide students with real-world experience and professional growth. So each year we hire around 200 interns across the firm. And we do provide internships in several areas, but our 2 main internships are our accounting internships, which are available in both tax and audit. And these internships offer hands-on experience in financial reporting, tax preparation, and client interaction, among many other things. Our other one is our technology consulting internships. This is focused on areas within client relationship management and organizational performance. And these internships provide insights into tech consulting and digital solutions, so kind of 2 different spectrums there. We do evaluate all of our internships and interns for full-time positions to join the firm after graduation based off of a number of factors, some of which include performance and firm staffing needs. And then finally, our CPA program. Wipfli has a comprehensive CPA benefit program, which assists students on their journey to completing their CPA. So Wipfli will cover the cost of the study materials through Becker, which are available to our future hires as soon as they sign their offer letter. So you don't have to wait to get started to begin studying. We will reimburse exam fees and any retake fees necessary throughout your CPA journey. And finally, there's also a bonus associated with passing the exam. So the highest bonus you can receive is $6,000 and the lowest is $2,000, depending on the duration it takes for you to pass the exam. And I think that is all of the information I wanted to share today.
Great. Thank you so much, Tori. We appreciate all that information. Our next person who's going to speak with us is Maya Grover. Maya is just wrapping up an internship with Wipfli. And so Maya, if you wouldn't mind, can you tell us about your experience? I put a couple of talking points up here in the corner that just, how did you get to UMA? What is your pathway? And then, your future plans. I'm eyeing this one right here. Your intent to sit for the CPA exam in just under 2 months. So Maya, please share your experience with us.
Sure. So I had previously graduated from UMA back in 1997 when some of you were, maybe not born yet. Anyway, I did a 25-year career in the laboratory where I've been staring at numbers for 25 years. My body kind of broke down on me, so I found out I can sit in a chair and still play with numbers. Bonus. So accounting's for me, heading right for it. I'm a little, like most accountant students, I think I'm a little conservative. So I wanted to make sure I had a job before I graduated. So I went ahead and started applying for internships right away. Actually, I applied for one internship at Wipfli. Then I got it, so I didn't apply for any more. But the internship process, the selection process does seem a little intimidating sometimes for some folks, and don't be intimidated by it. Go ahead and fill out that application, go through the phone interviews, listen to what people are saying, find out more about the company. I would really suggest that folks do that. See if they find an industry that they like or an area that they like. Wipfli did do every cohort group of interns. They do a Wipfli experience. My little cohort, there were 70 of us. They flew us to Milwaukee, and we spent 2 days interacting with each other, learning about the company, learning more things. Again, this is a 3,000 employee company, so they're very large. They have many areas that you can look at, and throughout the internship, they throw the lunch and learns at you, and you'll find, one particular group will want to do a piece, and you may have something on tribal casinos, and a group that's works on tribal casino audits will come and do a presentation on tribal casino audits. Maybe you want to try that out. And so it's a large enough company that you can try different areas of accounting that you want to try. If you want to do taxation, you can do taxation. If you want to try audit, you can do audit. The one other thing I will say, as an older person coming in, they do actually like a seasoned employee. So, if you're older, don't hesitate to throw in an app and see if you're, accepted or not. Make sure you get that job before you graduate. And I will, again, plug UMA. The bachelor degree program has covered every class that I need to take to qualify to sit for the CPA exam. My previous credits from UMA before make up the 150. So those of you who don't know about CPA yet, for the state of Maine, you need to have 150 college credits. You have to have a specific amount in specific courses. Each state has their own requirements, but UMA meets all the Maine's requirements. And I am currently doing the horrible studying for the Becker-Farr exam right now, which is one of the 4 exams that make up the CPA testing protocol.
That was going to be my question, Maya. Which one of the exams did you decide to study for first? So you said FAR, financial reporting, which is the bread and butter that we cover in intermediate 1 and 2. So folks who have me in that class, you often hear me talk about, you need to learn this, we need to memorize this, we need to apply this knowledge to see how it's going to appear to us when we take the CPA exam. So Maya, thank you for the testament to that. Now, my second question for you, because I'm dying to know, have you picked your discipline yet that you intend to sit for? So the way the new CPA exam works, you have 3 core areas and then you have 1 area of specialty. So Maya, have you picked your specialty yet?
I have picked one that is actually awful. The pass rate is the worst. I'm like, why did I go with this? But I am going to be doing the ISA.
Okay, awesome. So she's focused on technologies. That's the piece that Maya is going to work on. The other 2 disciplines that are an option are, one of them is called BAR, not to be confused with FAR, but BAR. So that's business analysis and reporting. And that's why at UMA, we spent a lot of time really developing the analytical side of the work that we're doing and making sure students have a good handle on those technologies. And then the other one is audit. So you can specialize in audit as well, which that would be my gem right there. If I had to go back and do it again, that's what I would do. So, hey, Maya, thanks so much for sharing your time with us. I miss not, seeing you in class all the time and your wonderful questions, but that's okay. We'll, swap stories about our Maine Coon cats that we have, and we share pictures from time to time. So. All right, any questions for Maya from anybody on the panel before she jumps off? No, we're good? All right, let's roll right into the next one. Okay, so this is Nash Davies. He's not with us tonight. He was actually one of our UMA students, and he's just finishing up his time. He did an actual live work experience with Wipfli. He was a staff accountant with them and he worked on audits and taxation. And he did that for a little over 2 years. And just wanted to put something out here. One of the things that he mentioned was that, yes, working in the field can be difficult, right? So you are trying to balance your responsibilities at work with your responsibilities at school, your responsibilities in your family. But at the end of the day, what he was trying to articulate is that because you're working in the field, you can bridge the textbook concepts that we talk about and see how it is applied in the real world. So obviously, he's mentioning it does take some diligence and a whole lot of time management to get it done, but there's something to be said for that. One of the things I like to mention about our UMA students and our folks who are juggling school and family and work at the same time, you guys have the absolute best time management skills. And that is such an incredible asset to an employer. So keep up that great work. All right. Thanks so much, Maya. Okay, next up, we have tax internships opportunities with Integrated Tax Consultants. This is a boutique firm that is down in the Falmouth area. And they've worked with several of our students. And we have Heath on the line who is going to talk to us about some of the rolling opportunities that ITC offers. Heath, would you like to take it from here?
Absolutely, Gwen. Thank you very
you.
much. And as always, we're so happy to be here and be part of this event at UMA. As she mentioned, we are a boutique firm. We're about 25 full-time year-round staff, but we are continuing to grow. We started back in 2014. The owner, who is Sarah, I'm on her Zoom account, of course. She left one of the big firms because she really wanted to be able to provide a really customer-focused, service-centric approach to what she did. And really, tax is our bread and butter, but as we've grown, we've determined and seen that a lot of our clients need a lot more year-round help to be successful. So we brought in a bookkeeping department. Our bookkeeping department is now about 6-7 employees strong. We work with a lot of individuals, but small businesses is certainly a majority of our business year-round. And that's a variety of sole proprietors, as well as partnerships, S corps, a few C corps. We have another gentleman that's in the office. He really focused on our trust work. He's been doing that for a couple decades. And at this point, we have 4 JDs, 2 CPAs, myself and one other gentleman, enrolled agents. We really support kind of growth from within as well. A lot of folks came in seasonal roles, whether they were interns or in other positions. And, we're excited to learn more. And we have a very conducive environment to that. Even the people with decades of experience, they're available to answer questions on a daily basis, even during the busiest seasons. So looking at what we have to offer for positions, we do have a few intern roles through the busy tax season. We were very fortunate this last tax season that we had a total of 5 start with us, and 4 of those folks actually came on throughout the summer season in varied roles. So that was outstanding. We do offer great benefits for our seasonal staff. For those that come on board long-term after that, certainly we have all the benefits you would expect. Great healthcare options, as well as, all those perks during tax season. But yeah, we're just excited to be part of this, to have students from UMA apply for these roles. We've had great success, as you'll see in the next couple slides, with students that were at UMA that have joined us and are still with us.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Heath. Appreciate that. So as he mentioned, I'll just share a couple of clips with you from some students who recently did internships. This one here is Catherine Durham. She's not able to be with us tonight. She is working. But Catherine, as she mentions here, she came to us, because she already had a degree in environmental science. She had a bachelor's degree, and she just decided that, you know, it wasn't really working for her in the way that she wanted it to do. And she needed to make a career change. She happened to be working at a restaurant at the time. And then we just started having some discussions over Zoom about, you know, this post-baccalaureate program that we have at UMA that is focused on accounting and would provide her with the ability to go and sit for the CPA exam. So we just started having a, you know, a quick casual conversation. And the next thing you know, she signed up for that first class. And then it's been rolling right after that, just as she said here. So started with our survey of accounting, right? That's our intro class now. We give you some financial, but then we start to expose you to a bunch of other different fields of accounting. And the idea behind that is maybe you decide that there's one specific area of accounting that really speaks to you. Maybe it's tax, maybe it's nonprofit, maybe it's auditing, whatever that might be. And it gives you that exposure to see what you're going to develop for a skill set as you move through the program. So one of the things that Catherine liked about our post-bac program is that the flexibility in the way that the classes are delivered, and that it's specifically focused, of course, on the accounting curriculum. She started her first internship less than a year into the program. So she didn't start with us until the summer, the fall of 23. And here she is not even a year later doing one of the tax internships at ITC, and it went really well. So she said overall, her internship was a great opportunity to gain experience in tax before graduation. So this very much matches what Maya was just saying about her experience working at Wipfli, being able to apply textbook skills in the real world, right? The folks at ITC are very friendly, welcoming of everyone, and eager to learn. You get to work with everything from individual returns to C Corps to nonprofits, depending on where your interest lies. And she said the internship here was about 3 to 4 months and up to about 20 hours per week. And she is also planning to sit for the CPA exam here and plans on starting that, you know, possibly next summer. So she is well on her way. And then we do have one more student experience to share. And this is Sierra Nestor. She did an internship with them last year. And Sierra is just amazing. She was on the business administration degree pathway for accounting. Her internship was last year, and she actually extended on. Heath had mentioned that some folks do stay on, and she was one of the folks who got to extend her stay. So she was saying that she strongly recommends internships to students. It's a great opportunity to experience and implement the skills. And then specifically, she was able to apply concepts from financial accounting, taxation, and Excel for business applications. So again, lots of great internships opportunities. All right, so, I'm so excited. Laura Everett is with us. She is representing Albin, Randall, and Bennett. And she actually works a lot with Tom Giordano here, who's in the room. So I kind of feel awkward stealing his thunder here because I know he works with Laura quite a bit. So as you can see here, I mentioned that Albin, Randall, Bennett was voted again one of the best places to work in Maine, and this is 13 years running. So that is an excellent statistic there. And with that said, Laura, I think I'm going to turn it over to you to let you talk about your internship and other experiences that you offer.
Sure. Thank you so much. So yes, Laura Everett with Albin, Randall, and Bennett. We're also referred to as ARB in the business community. I've been with the firm for 18 years. I started back in 2006 when I was an associate and I had no public accounting experience. I had private accounting experience. I came from private industry. So 18 years ago, from associate up to partner, it's been a crazy ride, but a really great one. Wonderful learning opportunities, great mentors over the years, and I've met a lot of great people, not only clients, other students, and professors like Tom. So it's been a fun ride, and I have many more to look forward to. So Albin, Randall, and Bennett were located in Portland, Maine, in the heart of Portland in the Old Port, which is an extremely exciting area to be in. Lots of restaurants and a lot of fun things going on in the area. We're about 65 people. We have some very specific niche industries that we specialize in. Our largest is auto dealers, and that's where my background is. That's where I was in private accounting before coming into public accounting, was at an auto dealership. We also specialize in construction contractors and real estate development, manufacturing, credit unions, and some small saving institutions. And another area that we spend quite a bit of our time is private client services or ultra high net worth individuals, and working with their families and their family offices. So we offer a winter internship that runs, the typical busy season, January through April or mid-April. In later spring, we offer an externship, which Tom has been really great about promoting to students at UMA. So our externship is a 2-day externship where students come in and spend, 2 days with the firm. We put them up at the Regency across the street, and we just have a lot of fun together. And it's a great way for them to learn about the culture of our firm, and more about public accounting. And actually, you just had Sierra Nestor's slide up. She attended a couple years ago, and it was really great meeting her. So that was awesome. We also offer summer internships. Our summer internship is roughly mid-June to mid-August. And that internship is more of a hybrid experience, doing both audit and tax, whereas our busy season internship is primarily tax. We're also looking for full-time positions, and that really is based on when individuals graduate. Sometimes we have December grads who start in January. Sometimes we have May grads that want to start in June or start in the following September. So we are currently looking for those positions as well. Similar, I think what you'll find in most CPA firms, assistance with the CPA study materials. Of course, having our team get their CPA is a big priority for us, and we want to make sure that we're incentivizing for that and making it as easy as possible on those students. And, I think one of the last things I'll say is, being a 65 person firm, we're able to compete with national firms. We are a CPA America member, which is also a member of Crow Global. And so we have a lot of access to some very technical resources when we need them. And then the last thing I'll say about for students that are looking for internships and going through the recruiting process, I know it can be pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of choices out there for accounting firms. And the reality of it is there's a lot of great accounting firms around, public accounting firms, and you can get really great technical experience at many of them. And, it's really about getting out there, doing internships, experiencing externships, go to meet the firm nights, go to open houses, so that you can figure out what the right fit is for you, because every firm's different, and everybody's different. And so finding that right fit is probably the most important. So making sure that you invest some time in getting to know these firms, I think is very valuable. So that's me. That's the firm.
Thanks so much, Laura. So for folks who are looking at the slideshow, at the very bottom, there is a web page, arbcpa.com, and then there's a section that's just for college students. I highly encourage you to go and check out that page. If I'm not mistaken, Laura, there's a section there that has a bunch of videos from students talking about their experience. And it's really fascinating. Yeah,
so we have some recruiting videos. We also have a recruiting FAQ, which is really helpful for students. And we built that off of the most common questions that we get from students or individuals that we're interviewing to help people understand a little bit more about ARB. That includes the fact that we offer for all of our associates that come in a hybrid experience, meaning that you get to try both audit and tax to figure out which avenue you want to head down. Just because, when you're coming out of school, you don't always know. Yes, you took a tax class, but is that for you? And it may not be. So it gives people a little bit of an ability to feel out audit versus tax, feel out a variety of industries, and figure out what path you want to go down in your career. So that type of information is available in the FAQ on our website.
Great, thanks so much. And again, I want to piggyback off what Laura just said, right? Having that exposure to focusing on a tax versus focusing on an audit, that is going to be extremely beneficial to you as you get ready to go through a CPA exam, if that's what you decide to do. Because the way that the new CPA exam works is you actually, again, pick an area of specialty that you're going to focus on. If it's technologies, which is what Maya is doing, if it's auditing, that might be my gem, and maybe it's tax if it's, you know, Gary Page. So having that exposure is so beneficial. So hey, Laura, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Maine Revenue Services, Alex Weber unfortunately wasn't able to join us tonight, but we did have some conversations offline, and I know that we work together quite a bit. He does a lot of work with Tom Giordano as well over at Maine Revenue Services, and also works with you as well. Sorry about that, Haley. Didn't mean to leave you out. Haley also got us an intro. So he just wanted to share a couple of points, which was that, you know, we do have a lot of opportunities here at Maine Revenue Service, and one of them that they really try to promote is this progression program that they have for folks who are looking to be either a tax examiner or a revenue agent. And they provide sort of built-in or, you know, in-house professional development that allows you to climb the ladder here at Maine Revenue Services. So if you have an opportunity, please go over to www.maine.gov. Revenue and then careers, and take a look at some of those opportunities. And Alex's information is here as well if we'd like to gather some more information. So Alex, sorry you couldn't join us tonight, but I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to chat again sometime. Okay, all right, Doreen and Michelle, thank you so much for joining us again. They were with us last year, and I think we might have had another couple of colleagues on the line as well. But Doreen and Michelle, I will turn it over to you to talk about everything that's going on at the National Credit Union Administration and some wonderful opportunities.
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be back. My colleague Michelle works with me in Human Resources, and I am the National Recruiter for NCUA. It's a new position they stood up about 2 years ago, and we immediately started reaching out to schools that we thought were in good locations to service us in terms of what our needs were. And Michelle is an HR specialist, and she can tell you all about the application process and the vacancies we currently have open. We'll throw some links up and all that. But anyhow, the NCUA is a mid-sized federal government agency. We have 3 board members who are considered our leadership. They're appointed by the president. We conduct examinations of federally insured and federally chartered credit unions across the country. And what a charter means is they're essentially like paying us to go in and make sure they're operating in a safe and sound manner. For anybody who does banking and who has seen the FDIC sticker on a building outside of a bank, you'll see the NCUA sticker outside of a credit union. So we're doing essentially what FDIC does as well. We offer a very comprehensive benefits package. That's included in our profile. If you look at us online, in many cases, this is so different than the other federal government agencies. And the reason for that is we're trying to attract people to come to work at one of the financial regulatory agencies that would otherwise go into banking or finance. So we have to be competitive. And our salaries are really comparable to private sector. I think it's important for you to know that. The credit union examiner opportunity is one of our main occupations. It represents about 70% of our agency's positions. The credit union examiners, they plan, conduct, and complete examinations of federally chartered credit unions, and the workday will vary from one examination to the next, from one credit union to the next credit union. Some of the examinations are completed independently. Others might be requiring a large team or a small team. It just depends on the credit union. I mean, when you think about the size of like Navy Federal Cred and maybe one that's like local to where you guys are, that would maybe require a different team or person to cover that location. And look, and speaking of locations, credit unions can operate from large buildings. They can operate from a house of worship. We've even heard of credit unions being operated out of people's basements. And typically, or even manufacturing plants, if it's specific to that kind of manufacturing. And the examiner hours will follow those of the credit union or team they're working with. And occasionally they'll require evening work or weekend work, but there's really a balance, work-life balance with the credit union examiner occupation. And from time to time, a credit union examiner will be working at the credit unions. And if they're not there, they're working from home or a location that they've gotten approval for, a designated location. So there are no NCUA office buildings. And for informational purposes, we have 3 offices in the country. So we have one in Alexandria, Virginia, which we call our central office, and that's where the leadership of the agency resides. We have one that's located in Austin, Texas, and then another that's in Tempe, Arizona. And so the National Credit Union union examiners are located across the country, including the 50 states, Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. So with that, I'll pass it on to Michelle, and she can tell you some more about the wonderful occupation of credit union examiners. Thanks.
So thank you for joining us. Probably most of you have not heard of NCUA. I'll be honest, I didn't know about it either until I was recruited to come work here. But as Doreen said, it's a sister agency to FDIC. The majority of positions we do hire are the credit union examiners. We have a vacancy. We post those vacancy announcements about 4 times a year. And the way that we recruit our announcements is we post them on usajobs.gov. Okay. And if you have not accessed usajobs.gov, go ahead and access it. You can create an account, you can create searches, but all of our jobs are there. Right now, we do have a vacancy announcement that's open for credit union examiners. We have 23 locations that we're recruiting to fill examiners. Most of them are entry-level positions. When we do recruit the credit union examiners, we're recruiting the federal government. Our levels are 7, 9, and 11. The 7 are right out of school with bachelor's degree. The 9 are with a graduate degree, and the 11, you have to have either a PhD or experience. Either of these you could qualify for based on experience anyway. So right now we don't have any vacancies in this announcement in Maine. The closest to Maine is Hartford, Connecticut, but we have others across the country. So some of your students may be interested in relocating to different parts of the country. Our credit union examiners travel a lot. They get to work in there. They'll be assigned to work in a district, so they get to go to credit unions around the district. So they're going to be meeting a lot of people and very good networking experience. And sometimes they'll be even asked to help out at a credit union that's not even in their district if help is needed. So when we post these announcements, we post the announcements at 3 different we post the vacancies, 3 different announcements. One announcement is going to be open to all US citizens. Anybody can apply for those. The second way we post them are for people who are already in the federal government, who used to work in the federal government, or who have certain non-competitive hiring authorities, such as certain military spouses, certain veterans, and people with disabilities. But one of the ways that we also recruit is called the Pathways program. And the federal government, agencies across the federal government have a Pathways internship program. And this is geared towards anyone who has graduated from any accredited, our agency doesn't, but other agencies do trade schools as well. But if you have graduated and got your degree within the last 2 years, from the time that you apply, you can apply for the vacancy announcement for recent graduates. And we hire a lot of people on the recent graduate authority. They are put through anyone who's hired as a credit union examiner is put through a very intensive training program. A lot of it is, excuse me, in our Alexandria office, but there's also, they get assigned a on-the-job trainer, And then the recent graduates will also get assigned a mentor. Excuse me. And they will meet with their mentors regularly throughout their program. And their the Pathways program is about a 2-year program. It's a 2-year program before you can become a permanent federal employee. Each year, these positions, the credit union examiner positions go up to what we call the principal examiner. So if you're hired at the entry level, you can get promoted each year up to the principal examiner level. And then within the agency, there is growth throughout the agency for credit union examiners. We have people who stay in this agency for their entire career because there is a lot of opportunity to go to the policy side of the house, to go through the consumer protection. There's a lot of different areas that they can cover. We have, I believe, a chat, something was just put in the chat, I think, with the link to the announcements. Let me see.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brenda, for putting that up there.
Excuse me. Yeah, there it is. So that's a link to our vacancy announcements. And the second link that they sent is basically it's like a listserv that you can sign up for, and you will get emails about opportunities, job opportunities at the agency.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate your time, and for you as well, Doreen. Thank you so much for sharing those opportunities with us.
Thank you.
Okay, next, I think we have some students who are going to share their success stories. All right, Ryan, are you on the line with us?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everybody.
You were very punctual. I think you were here before anybody else. So thank you so much.
You bet. This is what happens if you spend half your life in Germany. You become punctual.
All right. Well, I love it. Hey, well, without further ado, Ryan, take it away. Tell us about your story.
Right. Well, let's start off before I became a student at UMA. So like a lot of people right out of high school, I went into the armed services. I was a 13 Mike or MLRS crew person, stationed in Germany. I liked Germany so much, I stayed there and I did something that nobody does. I did a German apprenticeship to a hospitality specialist. I planned on staying there for maybe 2 or 3 years to learn the language and culture. 2 or 3 years turned into just about 18. If you don't make plans and you just enjoy one job after another, that can happen, right? So I had several different positions, from commis de rang, demi-chef de rang, maitre d'hotel. These are all fancy European terms, basically for fine dining waiters. In about 2015, I decided it was time to come back to the United States. I was just turning 39. I was a regional food and beverage director for Adina Apartment Hotels that was expanding in Europe. They began a joint venture. And through this joint venture, they ended up giving their managerial rights away to a much bigger company, right? And I just didn't like it anymore. I thought I was kind of done with hospitality. I wanted to turn over a new leaf or a new tree. So I came to Maine. I came back to Maine, where I have some family. They told me about this quirky, small university called UMA, non-traditional students. I thought that was great. Needless to say, I think on my first day, I was confused as one of the professors, and I had to explain, no, this is day one for me as well. And yeah, when I came back to school, I viewed it as a job. It's something I did 8 hours a day, fully invested. I think my first struggle in my freshman year was getting back into those mathematics. Math 030 or algebra kind of was a struggle at first, right? So I was in the math lab every day until I learned everything needed at a really deep level. And I was actually offered a job as a math tutor, which I did for the following 3 years. I also worked for the state of Maine as a licensing professional, concurrent to completing my degree. In 2020, in the height of COVID, I finished my degree, but still wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I didn't love accounting.
No.
I love Tom Giordano and Brenda, but financial accounting. is not mine. It really wasn't. Needless to say, I tried 2 jobs in financial accounting, one with the state. And you know, I kind of failed miserably because I didn't love it. I kind of didn't get it. And so I had some family members that said, you know, Ryan, you're kind of one of the smartest people we know, not to toot my own horn, but some things I'm pretty smart. Financial accounting, maybe not so much. I just kind of didn't get it. So they recommended, yeah, maybe apply to BIW. You know, they manufacture, they've got some management type positions there. And I thought, oh, I don't know about this. Well, I don't see me going up on those big old ships and talking to welders or outside machinists or whatever all the trades were, right? But so I applied for a position as a buyer and as an estimator. When I read what an estimator did, yeah, that kind of excited me. So that, because I remembered there's not only this financial accounting, there's also this managerial accounting that's interested in cost. And I could link that back to my food and beverage career really well, right? And so I was hired and I started, I think it was January 13th, 2021. Since then, I've been promoted a couple times. I'm also one of the main trainers for estimators in Planning Yard. At BIW, we have different kind of divisions. We've got folks that are responsible for new construction or building these big new ships, right? About $3 billion a pop. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of money. We also have people that design new things that aren't quite there yet. We have a DDGX project, which will be our new fleet of destroyers. And what I work on, I think, of course, it's the most interesting thing, is I'm one of the estimators responsible for maintenance, repairs, upgrades to our existing fleet of just about 100 ships that are out in the world somewhere, carrying out real world missions. As a matter of fact, just within the last 48 hours, 2 of the ships that my crew is responsible for were used to shoot down some missiles that Iran fired into Israel. So it's exciting with real world applications. All that said, what does an estimator do? Well, we're kind of the nexus point of a lot of different departments with the input of procurement, engineering, fabrication, supervision. That's out where you in the field where we actually have our tradespeople, our welders, our machinists, our carpenters, every different trade you can imagine we've got. They give us input, and with all that, we put together mathematical models, most of it Excel based. For those of you that are afraid of Excel or think I won't ever need that, yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Thank you.
Right. And so what we do is we take this, we make our projections, what something's going to cost. With that, that's basically the contractual basis to all the proposals we submit to the Navy, right? And the Navy is our only customer at this time, probably also for the foreseeable time. So it's pretty important stuff. Yeah, I was just blobbing on there forever like I always do. Does anybody have any questions about estimating or maybe shipbuilding?
Anything in the chat?
Or anything about it? It is kind of niche work that a lot of folks don't understand. So yeah, if there's not, I'll give it on to the next person. But my time at UMA was really great, and I really attribute a lot of my current success to lots of long conversations and hard work. Thank you, Tom and Brenda, so much. It was so nice always working with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ryan, thanks again for joining us. I had a wonderful conversation with Ryan last week when I was driving home from Brunswick. I teach on Monday afternoons, Monday evenings in Brunswick, and I have some of the students who work at BIW. So we're able to make that four-way together. And it was funny because when I was talking with Ryan, he's like, but I really don't like accounting. And then he told me about what he did. And I'm like, but you're an accountant. It's managerial accounting, it's cost accounting, but it is accounting. So, hey, thanks again, Ryan. We appreciate your time and continued great success towards you.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. Okay, Leanne, I know you were in there hiding somewhere in the back. So Leanne is joining us tonight. She has another inspirational story about overcoming some obstacles and then finding success in accounting. So where are you, Leanne?
I'm right here.
All right,
So,
perfect.
Let's see if I get over without getting emotional. Because,
Okay, I
I
don't
was
always
just
do it. I break down too. It's all good.
About 20 years ago, I came from Cuba, knowing nothing in English. All hello and goodbye was pretty much all I knew in English. But I had a career in Cuba. I was a civil engineer, and I told my husband that I didn't came to America to be a housewife. So I found a new career. That new career was accounting. Numbers were easy from the engineer perspective. So I thought that this could be a new pathway. Thanks to the support of many, many people around me, I was able to graduate with a bachelor's degree from the University of Maine at Augusta, and later, 2 years later, a master's degree from St. Joseph in accounting as well. It was about 8 years ago that I was turning on a paper to Brenda Bacalier and turning around and shaking Professor Giordano's hand at commencement. So that's why I get so emotional. I did all of this with raising 2 children that now are teenagers, driving my life crazy. But yes.
Literally, because they're learning how to drive, right?
Yes.
Conversations about that.
Yes, they're driving now. So when I left, when I finished my bachelor's in accounting, I started to work with Gwen. She has been my mentor in my career. Even though she's not my boss anymore, I go and talk to her about this is what I'm about to do. This is what I'm thinking that is going to happen for me. So I started as an accounts payable specialist for the school department. It was pretty much account payable. You only knew that side of the ledger, that side of the business, and all of that. Here and there, she introduced me to other journal entries and how everything correlates. So I start applying my theoretic background into practice. I move on and started working as a financial analyst on the hospital, Southern Maine Healthcare. And there it was more of like, okay, we're going to budget for things. We're going to estimate costs. We're going to plan for the future based on what we have in the present. So all of those concepts that you have in accounting, where the debit goes, where the credit goes, what is going to happen, what's the growth, the interest, all those things came into play during that phase of my career. Then an opportunity at Waypoint Maine opened as an accounting manager. And I say, okay, this is also would open my horizons to see different parts of the business. Now I see the revenue cycle. I see all the cash management cycle. I am seeing all the AP cycle. And I also go and do the billing cycle to a specific, for a specific service to insurance, which is not difficult, but it's a completely different way of looking at business, because now you're dealing with insurance, what the caps are for certain services, what they allow, what they don't allow, what qualifies. So it's been very interesting. It has not been easy, I won't lie. It's hard to manage a school, full-time work, and children, but technology is a wonderful thing that we can take advantage of. And that's one of the things that UMA opened the doors for me, because I was able to not even be in the classroom, watch the video later, send questions to the teachers, get answers to what I need on a timely fashion, present for the exams or anything that I had to do at the time, without actually having to go to Augusta. If travel at present was going to be a variable for me, I couldn't have done it. So technology and the advances and the adaptability of the schools in all of this have played a role in my success. And thank you to all 3 of you that, you know me, we talk. So for supporting me through this journey.
Well, Leanne, it's been a pleasure to work with you. You're a star student and always happy. Tom's got a big smile, and I can't see Brenda, but I'm sure she's doing the wave for you. So,
The next slide.
all right, she's on the next slide. Leanne, thanks so much. Appreciate your time tonight, and we'll chat soon. Okay. Oh, there's Dr. Brenda Bacalier. Okay. I don't have to say anything. I'm just going to turn the floor over to Brenda and let her have at it. Brenda.
Well, I don't want to take a lot of time because I want the other faculty to have their say. But Leanne and Maya and Ryan, I'm so proud of all of you. I could cry listening to you. So thank you so much for the current students. I do teach org behavior in the fall. I see you all in the spring when I do the senior seminar. Every student who graduates from UMA with a business degree has to come through me. So I'll see you at some point and look forward to it.
If you're anything like me, I still remember the project I did for Brenda when I was getting ready to graduate. It was on Southwest Airlines.
I remember it,
anymore,
Gwen.
but I remember it. Yes. All right. Okay. Next up, Gary Page. He is on the line with us. Gary is joining us from South Carolina, I think it is. Gary?
Okay, can you hear me?
We can.
All right. Greetings from what is now sunny South Carolina. Not so sunny about 5 days ago. We're about 2 hours south where all the terrible devastation took place. We got hit pretty well too, but nothing like Western North Carolina. Of course, we can see that almost from where we live. So I've been, I'm guessing probably around UMA for probably longer than anybody here. I came to UMA in 1983, I believe. Began teaching there, taught full time in the accounting department. Goodness, I guess until off and on, I left for a while, came back, went to Pennsylvania and came back. Semi-retired in 2000. I don't know, 2000 something. Yeah, recently, within the past couple of years, 2020 or something like that. Brenda can tell you, but I still teach our tax courses. I love tax, so we are going to try adding a new tax course. I often think I turned 73 a couple of days ago, and I said, what would I do if I were young again and graduating college in accounting? And I like tax. I have to like tax. There is a designation that you can earn called the enrolled agent, and it allows you to do anything that a CPA can do in the tax area. You can help clients, represent them before the IRS. You can represent them in audits. You can help them unravel and deal with tax problems. So really, there's nothing in the tax area that a CPA can do that you could not do as an enrolled agent. Well, CPA is a wonderful thing, and I would encourage you to go for it. But it's kind of a slog now, isn't it? It's 150 credit hours and a big exam, and then you got to work for 2 years before you finally make it. Well, the good news about the enrolled agent is you don't even have to graduate college. How cool is that? You can become an enrolled agent while you're in college. You don't have to have any experience. That's good. And all you have to do, and this is a big thing to do, but you got to pass a 3-part IRS tax exam. So if I were a student in tax or accounting right now, and I was looking way off into the future, someday I'll be a CPA, I would probably work on taking that enrolled agent exam. I would study for it at the same time I was taking our tax courses, and then I could go to a local accounting firm maybe as an intern and start saying, hey, I am an enrolled agent. I can do anything that your CPAs can do. I think it would give you a great leg up. And the CPA exam has tax on it. Well, imagine if you had already passed the enrolled agent exam, you wouldn't have to study the tax at all, except for the changes. So I think it would be a great a great career move. And we are tweaking our tax offerings in our accounting program. The enrolled agent had a tax exam has 3 parts: individuals, businesses, and a part of administration. How do you practice before the IRS? What are the requirements? What are the possible remedies for people with tax problems? We've never really taught that in our tax classes before because we just don't have time, but it's actually a part of the enrolled agent exam. Well, we're going to be offering for the first time a course in tax administration in the spring. So you could take our 3 tax courses at the same time, study, and pass that exam while you're a student. You would be fully certified. You don't have to wait and have a degree. So I think it's a great idea for somebody that really likes taxes.
Thanks so much, Gary, for bringing that up. Gary and I talked, sometime this summer, sometime during August, I forget. All I remember it was just super hot. And he said, hey, I have this idea. And I thought, wow, that is wonderful. And then Brenda was right behind it. And we got our official letters today that 377E, which is the tax practice and procedures Gary was just talking about, that has been approved and it will be offered this spring. So thanks so much for that, Gary. Looking forward to great enrollments. And thanks again for joining us. Glad everybody is safe down there where you are.
Yeah, we're good now. A few trees down, but no casualties in my area, but can't say the same about folks 60 miles to our north, to the north. That's horrible up there.
For sure. All right. Thanks so much, Gary. Okay. I'm going to turn the floor over to Tom Giordano, who's going to talk to us about, whatever is on his mind tonight. He has the floor.
What's on my mind? I'm a little nervous being in front of a crowd. I've been on sabbatical the last 9 months, and so feels good to be in front of the camera. So anyway, my name is Tom Giordano, and a longtime faculty member here at UMA, not nearly as long as Professor Page, but 30 years anyway. And yeah, it's good to be back in the room again. My background, I'm a graduate of Bentley College and Hofstra University. My undergraduate was in accounting at Bentley, and I got my master's at Hofstra. My career spans the disciplines of public accounting, where I worked with a firm called Arthur Andersen and Pete Marwick for several years, and then in private industry with a Fortune 500 company, GT Sylvania, and then in the government sector, both in Maine Revenue Service as well as the Controller's Office. All that was great. Had a very informative career, and it was a result of knocking on the door here at UMA to teach as an adjunct. And I kept knocking and knocking. And I remember a fellow who was hiring at the time, Barry Farber, he finally let me in. And he says, okay, Giordano, we'll send you to Lewiston to teach a 400 level course in auditing. And but I fell in love with it right away and wound up teaching as an adjunct for 14 years. And one day, Gary Page woke up and he said he was leaving UMA, which was a shock to the institution. But I am forever thankful to Gary, because if not for him leaving, I would not be here today, probably. And so I filled his shoes. And funny little joke that Gary and I have, a handful of years later, Gary came back to us, and I was on the hiring committee to bring him back. So story there. But yeah, that's my background. As I said, been teaching here, a little bit over 30 years now. I've taught all the courses, like some of our other faculty, in all the accounting. And what do I know about us at UMA is that we have students getting really good jobs, and you saw the testimony tonight, and we can count off dozens and dozens more, and they're getting paid really well, And I always say to our students, think about the value of your education here at UMA. Looking down from 1,000 feet, my alma mater, Bentley, now is $300,000 for a 4-year education. And little old UMA, what, about 40,000, right? You could probably make it through about November of your first semester and you'd be done at Bentley. But, and all I know is when I look from up top, I say, well, we have our students getting good jobs at firms like Albin, Randall, Bennett, and Wipfli and other firms. You hear Ryan's testimony of Bath Iron Works and Leanne. So really good work happening out there. And so I know we can be competitive with all the institutions out there as well. Our students are passing the CPA exam, CMA exam, CIA exam, and some of the designations Gary spoke of as well. And so that feels really good to us here. And it's a collective effort, right? With all of us faculty and all the students are working together. And we are a diverse group, right? Our average age student is roughly about 28 years old. So, yeah, a little bit of the background and kind of framing the story is mentioned by Gwen, now teaching with us, 5, 6 years. We have another person on staff teaching with us who's a graduate now and is the finance officer at a large company right here in town. So really good work happening out there. But I wanted to share with you for a few minutes here is, as I said, I've been on sabbatical the last 9 months. And so for those who don't know, students might not know this, right? Sabbatical is a time when faculty get to be away from teaching for a period of time and then do a research project that they were interested in. And in our field of business, and in particular accounting, which is my specialty area, this idea, you may have heard of it, data analytics has been floating around and picking up steam over the last 10 years or so. And I said, geez, we got to find out what's going on with this world of data analytics, how it's affecting the accounting profession, and how are we doing here at UMA delivering the goods so that students can be competitive in this world of data analytics. So, I came to it with a little bit of skepticism in that I said, geez, data analytics, I mean, is that anything new, right? I hark back to the 1400s, right? When accounting started with this fellow, Luca Pacioli, right? A Franciscan friar. He started the first double bookkeeping entry system, right? The late 1400s that came about. And I said, okay, this guy was kind of counting the beans, if you will, for all the little merchants in Italy, land of my people, by the way. I said, that was data, right? And, I'm sure they were analyzing what their expenses were. So what's this whole thing with data analytics? So I embarked on my research work for the spring of 2024 with the help of one of the librarians who was tremendous in gathering up 50 academic articles that have been written by other academics throughout the world on data analytics and its effect on the profession. As well, I sought out and I met up with the authors for a few of our textbooks in accounting that had started to incorporate data analytics in the textbooks, as well as I interviewed with some businesses in the area about how data analytics is affecting their firm. And then also I looked at a whole bunch of job advertisements to see what were the needs out there that employers were looking for with this concept of data analytics. So, short and sweet here in my conclusion. And as I say, my sabbatical's over, but I see this journey continuing because there's a lot of other legs to this that I'll talk about in a moment. But the long and short of it is, look, we we've had data. We've been tracking data since, as I said, the 1400s in accounting. What is new for us is that there is an abundance of data available to us more quickly than ever before. And that we have technologies, you may have heard of these, like Excel and Tableau and Power BI and Alteryx, and that can take and massage this data and help management make decisions more quickly than ever before. You know, you can be rest assured, a company like Walmart with 5,000 stores around the world, you know, they can tell you how many socks they sold on Tuesday when it was raining, you know, a little bit facetious there, but you get the point. There's lots of data and we're all tracking this asset called data. And as I said, I went into this sabbatical not really knowing what I was going to find, but that's what I've come out of it at the end of the day. This whole idea that, no, we need to be training students on these technologies that businesses are starting to develop. And I think my research so far is telling me that academia is a little bit ahead of even what's happening in some businesses, as they're not up to all of these technologies yet. But, you know, I think 5 years from now, we're going to see a different picture and there's going to be a whole bunch new, more technologies, you know. And I don't fear it. You know, some students will say, geez, is this going to replace our jobs? Well, it will replace some jobs. You know, I say, you know, you think about Hannaford, right? The, you know, point of sale, accounting for all of the revenue and all of the inventory that's leaving the store, et cetera. Yeah, we used to do that manually, make those journal entries. Well, that's been taken away from us as accountants. It's freed up our time to do other fun things like analyze data, you know, so that's the big picture. And the other piece that I took out of the research that comes up in the articles all the time is that, you know, that we need to be reinforcing all those soft skills, the communication skills, the writing skills, the presentation skills for our accounting folks, you know. And what we've done here at UMA is in fact incorporate the data analytics, not only as a standalone course, but in all of the courses in the curriculum. And
I think that's actually a fantastic segue into Tom and his Excel course. Do you mind if we tie him into what you're talking about here?
Be good.
Great,
Yeah,
thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
Here I am. I graduated an accounting degree, and I've always viewed accounting as kind of an art form. You know, but I'm with Ryan. I never could get the hang of public accounting. I always wanted to be in private accounting because that's where the decisions were made. I wanted to run the business. I wanted to be the guy that decides what is in the brown box that gets to your doorstep. And accounting is the way of understanding the language of business, but in this world, you really do have to have data analytical skills, and the current coin of the realm is Excel. So I teach online, both Excel and managerial analytics, which is a sort of it's a more advanced form of data analysis, but in BUA 205, I try to get through the basics of Excel as quickly as I can so that I can focus more on what the employers want to hear from their accounting new hires. Things like, well, I know how to do pivot tables. I know how to do goal seek. I know how to visualize the data so that the senior managers, they don't have a lot of time to look at tables. They just want to see a picture, and somebody needs to explain what that picture is trying to tell them about the business decisions that need to be made. So I like focusing on that kind of thing. Probably one of the most exciting new elements of data analysis is now the introduction of artificial intelligence. or what we call generative artificial intelligence. You may have seen some of it in ChatGPT, but Microsoft, the people that brought you Excel, also have Copilot, which is an artificial intelligence engine that they have now linked or built into Excel. So what that means is that you can take say a big table of numbers, a statement, a financial statement, and you can pose a question to that AI engine, something like, what would be the tax ramifications of switching from LIFO to FIFO? Now, you have to know accounting to ask that question in the first place. And you really have to have accounting to understand how the financial statements work. But the whole idea of engineering these prompts in such a way that you're answering accounting questions, very valuable skill, very, very valuable skill. So I like to try to get to those skills as quickly as I can in the course.
Thank you, Tom. We appreciate it so much. Yes. So Tom is, again, heralding in the Excel and the managerial and the analytics focus. So we're going to continue to drive that home. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, Tom. We appreciate it very much. All right, Andrew, are you there with us?
I am here indeed.
Oh, perfect. Great. Andrew is one of our adjunct instructors. His focus is on business, but also a lot of economics lately. So Andrew, with that said, please go ahead and tell us about your experience and your expertise.
Yeah, I'm going to try and be succinct here in the interest of time. But I am new to teaching, kind of on the other end of where Tom was talking about. This is just teaching my 4th class right now, and I love it. It's something I've always wanted to do. As you can see from the slide there, I've done a lot of different things, from corporate finance, investment banking, real estate. I've shut businesses down. I've started businesses, small businesses, which is a course I teach as well, which I really enjoy. But the one thing I just mentioned, and Tom talked about it, about the accounting is the language of business, which is absolutely true. And I would just encourage you, like, even if you don't like accounting, which some people have said, it is the back door into more or less anything you want to do, which has been my experience. Even like tax, which I don't like, but I've become a very eager student of it when I realize how much I'm paying in it. So, that type of thing. And if you know accounting, you can learn how to interpret all this information. And the one thing I guess I would say is just treat your accounting, your lessons and your major and all your experience with the respect it deserves. And you will, people will want you to do lots of things in like lots of positions, even outside of the finance and accounting world. I've got friends that were CPAs that have moved into supply chain, that are CEOs, that are in marketing. I mean, all over the place. So just keep that in mind. And people will want you. And oh my goodness, talk about nonprofits. If you talk to someone in a nonprofit and you say you've got finance or accounting background, they're going to want you on their board immediately. So just be protective of your time. So that would be my my recommendation. And but just I'm so excited to be part of this organization and everything it does. And yeah, I'm just teaching my 4th class now and just love it. And thank you, Brenda, for taking a risk on me.
Yeah, so Andrew's going to be teaching with us this spring. He's teaching BUA 243, and that's entirely online. But Andrew brings a wealth of excitement and knowledge to that. So be looking for that this coming spring if you need BUA 243. All right, thanks again, Andrew. All right, Megan. Megan, she is up in Edgecombe this evening. She took a break from her clients to join us this evening and talk about what it is that she does with the business law class and how she brings her real world experience to help our students understand how to apply that knowledge. So Megan, are you there?
I sure am here.
Great.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak. I know it looks like we have just a few minutes left, so I will try to be very brief.
Don't cut your time short on me. I'm going to skip my piece at the end because that's just static information. So take the time you want.
Oh, all right. Well, you should never say that to a lawyer. It's a really bad idea. That's my first.
But you can't
That's
bill
my
us
first
tonight.
piece of
This
advice.
is a non-billable moment.
Exactly. Well, so I practice law in Edgecombe, and I generally don't practice law at night, although it does sometimes happen. So I'm really glad to be with you folks tonight. I have no idea what it is like to be an accountant or to work in an accounting profession. And that's okay with me because I do have an idea what it is like to need an accountant. And lawyers need accountants very, very much. We need accountants to keep us from wandering off in paths that we shouldn't be wandering. And we use accountants a lot. In the Mid-Coast where I practice, there are not enough accountants. And so we have to reach sort of far and wide to help our clients access the accounting and tax advice that they really need. So please come to the Mid-Coast after you graduate from the University of Maine at Augusta. The accountant world does collide with the lawyer world. And one cool story that I have to share is that which I think I've told some people before, but it is that the lawyers at the Maine State Bar Association sometimes challenge the accountants to a softball tournament or softball game. And our experience is that the lawyers always lose. The accountants come like they've already had several practices. They're like organized. They've got their lineups all ready to go. And the lawyers are like, hey, can I borrow your glove? Like, you know, that we are not organized, man. We just took off our jackets and we showed up. That's the best we could do. So I'm in awe of how organized and prepared accountants appear to be. But I just want to talk a little bit just so you understand what areas of law practice impact or need the help of accountants. What I do is some of the things that I do are creating businesses, and I help clients with mergers and acquisitions. And I do business succession planning, including slow and like immediate buyouts. So there is a lot of accountant overlap there. I really take the time and encourage my clients to take the time to work with their accountants regarding tax implications of those mergers and the financial planning portions of estate planning are another area where I often advise clients who I'm working with to draft trusts and wills outside of business creation and business advice. We definitely need accountants in the world of estate planning. Finally, I think like maybe the coolest or most fun part of law that I do is litigation. And I need accountants when I'm doing litigation work. So an example is if I have a divorce case and I need to have an understanding of what the future value of someone's retirement plan is, I might advise my client to have an actuarial accounting done of my client's retirement account so that I can advise them how much that's worth when they're trying to determine how they're going to divide that with their spouse. So any of you accountants out there that love doing risk assessment and future, sort of futures actuarial type stuff, please do that. It's very hard to find. It's actually very, very expensive. In the criminal side of things, we work with forensic accountants sometimes, and that's another really cool specialty, I think, that accountants have. So that would be like if you were doing helping lawyers investigate financial crimes. We need to be able to understand what all this gobbledygook of numbers that comes to us when we're getting discovery is. And accountants help us make sense of that. And we are so grateful to you for doing that because to us, all those spreadsheets that you you that seem to be really organized and informative to you. It's just too much. Could you just write that in words, please? That's what we like. We like the words. So those are just a few areas of law where we really need accountants, and where I love working with accountants. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm one of those people that can talk forever. I really love teaching business law this semester. Oh, wait, there's a
We do
question.
have a question in the chat for you.
The question is about whether what kind of thoughts I have about those who might be interested in sort of like the merger of law and accounting. I think that there are two different ways I would answer that question. The first way is that there is a degree, you could get your JD, you could get your Juris Doctor, for example, at the University of Maine Law School. And then after that, you could go to get your LLM, which helps you to specialize as a lawyer in the fields of taxation, essentially. There are some other that can also do like estate planning and related fields, but your LLM, I think if you graduated with an accounting degree and then you went to law school and then you got your LLM, man, it seems like you could have a job anywhere. And it's quite lucrative because there aren't very many attorneys who are very well versed in tax law. I happen to adore taxation in federal income tax. When I was in law school, I'm a sort of weird lawyer for that reason. But in general, like, we don't like the numbers. So if you are an accountant type and you like the numbers, please get your LLM. The other direction I think you could go, lawyers aren't allowed to join in a firm with like an accountant. You can't have, we're not allowed to do cross professional firms. But a lawyer might be a general counsel in a big business, and that lawyer, if you were trained in accounting and say you had passed your exam and then went to law school, I think that's a great merger, and you'd have so much business intelligence, but also be able to have the skills that being a lawyer makes you have, right? So analytical skills and presenting an argument to sway the board or whoever the other company that you're having an argument with. So those are two things that came quickly to mind to answer that question. I think there was another question. Let me kind of go back to the chat here.
Was there? No.
No, was that it?
Right. Perfect. Thanks, Megan.
Okay,
Thank you so much. It looks like I probably have to kind of fly through these last couple of slides. So as you know, we have multiple pathways. Just go ahead and follow any one of these links to see the different pathways. We have associates, bachelor's degree, post-bac, and then certs. And then here are potential certifications and designations. Certainly we can talk about any one of those if you'd like to do that. And of course, more information is available here at the Robert Half website. And then finally, on the last slide, again, just some quick notes. Accountants are getting great jobs. You already heard that from Tom. You have some experience from our people who are graduates that are working in it. We have great and tremendous career growth projected for accountants of around 7%. So we hope that you enjoyed this webinar tonight, and that you are able to, join us again in the future. In the meantime, send any questions that you have, and this webinar will also be available for playback at a future date. So, all right. Thanks again so much for joining us. Sorry for running over, folks. Thank you.
Thank you. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye, Brenda.
Bye.